Next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Sarah, which category would you like?
Sport,
Sport,
please.
OK. Very big at the moment. Sport. The answer is 3 billion. What is the question?
Is the question, how many sleeps are there till England wins the World Cup?
Is it how many people on the planet would be a better commentator than Phil Neville?
Is it how many people will have to die in the Middle East before Tony Blair thinks that he might not be the best peace envoy there is?
Is it what percentage battery life do I need on an iPhone to last all day?
Is it about how many hairs were in the swing bin at the end of Chewbacca's full-body waxing?
Is it the amount of adverts Joe Hart's been in?
Is it how many free chickens is Gary now going to have delivered by Nando's?
But I would do it! You would pour yourself out for the free chickens.
Is it how many times has David Cameron said to Nick Clegg, shh, not now?
OK, I'm going to move you towards a correct answer.
This is how many, it's loads, it's how many people actually watch the World Cup.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well done, very good. Well done, sir. Yes, the question I was looking for was how many viewers around the world are claimed to be tuning into the World Cup. This is the predicted figure of worldwide viewers, with some estimating it'll reach as high as 3.5 billion. FIFA expects the tournament to be the most watched TV event ever. At the time of recording, we don't know the result of England's second game against Uruguay, which possibly determines whether or not you reach the tournament's knockout stage, and certainly determines the mood of a lot of people watching the show at the moment. So, sad face, happy. Different know where to go on this, to be honest. So, best luck, hard luck, you know, them's break.
I can't stand it!
Well, you can't stand winning a match as successfully as that.
Yes, that's right, I love it.
I'm sure the fans don't really matter what the score was, as long as everyone tried their best. Right, guys?
Yeah, high five! High five, everybody!
Some things aren't worth joking about.
What's the betting? Somebody said to Wayne Rooney, Uruguay, and he said, yeah, no, and Colleen's a girl.
Didn't they try and acclimatise? One of the ways they acclimatised was by eating really hot curries. And apparently Sturridge likes a vindaloo, Gerrard likes a madras, and Rooney prefers a plain naan.
It was like 10 years ago. When are we going to forget it?
This show will never forget things like that.
They are changing lots of things about football this year, and I think actually we could move that a little bit further. I've got some suggestions to how we can improve the World Cup. So, for instance, listen up. When someone gets a free kick, they shouldn't have to use that on the ball. They could use it on any of the other players or the ref. Use it anywhere. Also, when there's substitutions, I think that should be like online grocery shopping. Like, oh, you asked for Theo Walcott, but we couldn't find him. So we've sent you retired cricketer Ian Botham.
Do you know what? I'd still vote for you ahead of Sepp Blatter.
What other innovations have we seen in this World Cup?
Spray foam.
Spray foam.
Love it.
Spray foam is magic.
It's so exciting,
It's
isn't it?
really good, isn't it?
It's really
because
great.
it's actually, I think people genuinely think it's like a wall. It magically creates a barrier. They go, oh, like they're trapped in a crystal prison, like Superman do. Oh, I can't get out of here. I'm trapped against the glass.
It does disappear pretty quickly, but if you're going to put a white line in front of footballers, it's going to go. Isn't it?
I'm impressed that at no point so far has anyone drawn a cock and balls with it, which you think would be inevitable.
They've not warned us about it, so it just looked like he'd completely lost the plot. You know when, like, Vanessa started writing things in Big Brother? It look, I can't deal with the pressure, I'm just spraying on the ground.
Now we play a round called You Went to NATO, I Went to NATO. This game involves Tom and Reese. So if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, let's spin the wheel. And the first subject is the environment. Who wants to come in that? Reese.
We've got to do more, haven't we? We all know it's a big issue, the environment. We've got to do more stuff, but they're expecting too much from us too soon. OK, it's baby steps. Like, I know that I need to switch to a plant-based diet, really, but it's baby steps. Like, recently, I've given up chicken nuggets, all right? Might not seem like a big deal, OK, but I've gone nugless. That's what I decided. 3 months ago, I saw the first climate march. I was like, yeah, no more nuggets, right? And I'm smashing it. It's been 3 months, not had a single nugget. I'm doing so well. Slight confession, I'm eating a lot of goujons. Like, twice as many, and they've got way more real chicken in as well. It's awful for the planet. It's a terrible mistake. I thought we'd solved it with the bags. When we switched to charging 10p for the bag, I thought that was the end of the issue. I thought we'd done it. But it's not enough of a deterrent, is it, 10p, when you're at the checkout and you haven't remembered your canvas bag, and they go, do you want a bag for 10p? Like, well, what's the alternative? I just eat all this now. Yeah. What's for dinner tonight? Oh, cauliflower, mustard and Dettol. Yes. I need a bag, please. Costa are the same. Costa, they'll give you 10p off your coffee if you're taking a reusable cup. Right, because they're like, oh, we're Costa, we care about the environment. No, you don't, mate. If you care about the environment, Costa, why are your receipts the size of a duvet? Get grip. But it is handy having that 10p, because you can take that 10p and spend it on a plastic bag in Sainsbury's. So it is ideal. No, but I think I know why middle-aged people don't like Greta Thunberg, right? And it's because she makes their kids look shit. Brag about your kids with her on the scene. This is parents in the playground stuff now, isn't it? With their parents just going, oh, yeah, oh, is your son Jamie? He's made the football team, has he? Oh, well done. My daughter is the face of the campaign to rescue this planet from the jaws of oblivion. But, good luck with a little kickabout, Jamie. Off you go. Oh, your son, Lucas, he's made his grade 4 cello, has he? Oh, well done. Yeah, my daughter is the reason he might live to see grade 5.
Lovely stuff. Thank you very much, Reese. OK, that leaves Tom. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. And it's travel.
Travel, OK, fine. Well, I travel from over there. One of my favourite travel experiences was at secondary school when we went on the school music trip to France. And to get on the school music trip to France, you had to be part of the choir. I was in the choir, and it basically meant you got to hang out with all the other 13-year-old homosexuals who didn't yet realise they were homosexuals and their chatty female friends. And it was a great place to go and learn how to play a show tune on the flute. Not a euphemism. And this was back in the day when it didn't matter where you were going with the school. If you went on any school trip, you had to go by coach. Like, if you go to Australia, you go by coach. This was supposed to be a 5-day trip to France. We spent 2 days on the coach getting there and 2 days getting back. It was basically a day in France. So, on this trip, you really had to make the best of the coach trip. And for me, my favourite bit was when we got to stop off at the French hypermarket. So I thought that would be a great place for me to show off how much better I am than everybody else, because I'd actually been paying attention in French. So I went over to the patisserie and I said to the man there, "Bonjour, je voudrais un croissant, s'il vous plaît." And according to the French classes, the man behind the counter should have responded by saying, "Oui." Il y a un croissant ici, which, when you think about it, is basically the equivalent of someone coming over here and saying, "Hello, I'd like to buy a pasty, please." And then the man behind the counter responding by saying, "Yes!" There is a pasty here. I'm not even mentioning that it's part of a meal deal. So I said, "Bonjour, je voudrais un croissant, s'il vous plaît." And then the man behind the counter responded in normal French by going, blah, 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 blah. I had no idea what he was saying. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, my friend Kevin was no help. The only French he spoke was the French horn, which is a euphemism. I mean, I say they teach us how to speak French. Most of the time, they teach us how to sing it. I mean, I could have stood there and gone, "Quelle est la date de ton anniversaire?" But the idea of a 13-year-old English homosexual standing in the middle of a French hypermarket going, "What is the date of your birthday? What is the date of your birthday?" Couldn't be any more absurd. So I just responded by saying, "Oui, oui, d'accord, d'accord." Ended up with 8 kilograms of ham.
Thank you very, very much. Points there to Tom. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is race. Who wants to come on that?
I remember that day. The Interracial Arm Wrestling World Championships. I'm a white man. Thank you. I'm a white man, which means that a lot of people hate me these days. But I'm a white man, so it doesn't matter. Literally the same. Not just that, I'm a young, white, middle-class, straight man. In the game of life, that is what's called a royal flush. I hit the jackpot, OK? I got lucky as shit, so everyone thinks my life is easy. Everyone thinks I've got it simple, but that's because they don't know my struggle, OK? My day-to-day, the shit I have to deal with on a daily basis. Do you know how often I'm sat in a coffee shop and someone asks me to watch their laptop for them? Just let me live my life! Yes, I am trustworthy, but don't assume that based on my appearance, OK? That is still discrimination. And yes, in this Cafe Nero, surrounded by all these mums, I'm unlikely to steal your Dell computer when I'm clearly already using a MacBook Pro. A superior laptop. But don't get too relaxed. I could just easily steal that Dell and repurpose it as a gift for someone I don't respect. Hard part for me about being those 5 things, that royal flush, is being a comedian. That's the hard part, because you're constantly told art comes from pain, right? To make great art, you've got to experience pain along the way in childhood or whatever, then harness that pain, turn it into art down the line. But I don't know the meaning of the word pain. I've never experienced any true pain. First time I even saw the word pain, I was in a patisserie.
I preferred French over chemistry because the chemistry teacher and I just didn't have any, rapport.
Let's spin the wheel. And subject is music.
We don't know much about Galileo. He was a poor boy from a poor family. I live in a grade 2 listed building, which of course means that everyone in it has to be quite good at the piano. I'd like to take the band ABBA out for lunch, and if I could, I would, my friend. For Nando's.
OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the topic is health. Where you go?
I'm a lot sportier than I might look. In fact, I picked up a little niggle at the gym the other day. I mean, he pronounces it Nigel. I had a very stressful journey getting here today. All the way, this lorry driver was right up my arse. But it was nice of him to give me a lift. I spent most of the afternoon hanging out at the swimming baths. And then somebody told me and I tucked it back in again. I put on a lot of weight recently, so I rang up Weight Watchers. I said, it's an emergency. Can you send somebody round? And they said, yes, we can. We got loads of those.
Leadership.
Leadership looks fun, but it's stressful. Just look at anyone leading a conga. On the outside, it looks brilliant, having a great time all the time. Just... Yes, you bloody are. Yes, you bloody are. In their heads, just going, I don't know where I'm going. I didn't plan a route. I never asked for any of this. God, I miss my family. Everyone's trapped in the conga.
And the topic is school.
You are looking at a very proud Canadian who's very proud of the education system in Canada. No, I was horrible in school. I failed math so many times I can't even count. I preferred French over chemistry because the chemistry teacher and I just didn't have any, rapport. One teacher said I'd be a better student if I spent less time flirting. I immediately jumped off his lap. One teacher used to always say I wasn't very observant, but you know what? That was his or her opinion. I was going to join the debating team, but someone talked me out of it. In high school, I was voted most likely to reminisce.
We start with a round call. If this is the answer, what is the question on the board of 6 categories? Milton, which category would you like?
Let's have politics.
OK, politics it is. Your category is politics. The answer is over 1 million. What is the question?
Is it how many extra minutes Manchester United get to play if they're not winning?
Look at my big shiny face. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the way my forehead glow follows you around the room.
What you have to remember is that Cameron was in PR. I mean, I was 12 years old when I had a paper round. Apparently, the rumour is that David Cameron wants to make all towns in Britain triple-barrelled, like Kingston upon Thames, Berwick-on-Tweed. He wants to call it Leeds on Benefit. Well, his eyes are shinier and his hair's sleeker, but it's not necessarily an airbrush. It could be he's eating pedigree chum.
His coat is more glossy now. Essential minerals are good. So you should see him running through a field and over a wall. It's incredible now. He's youthful and dynamic.
But we've all been drunk at work, haven't we? I remember when I worked on an oil rig in the Mexican Gulf.
Or unlikely things to hear in a science programme.
1643. The cold air balloon is invented. But it doesn't really take off.
Milton. Let's see what subject. Let's spin the wheel. The subject is family.
One of my earliest memories is seeing my mother's face through the oven window. As we played hide and seek, and she said, "You're getting warmer." My auntie Jean got a sister called Jean. Her daughter, Jean, just had a baby, called it Jean. They all went to a nightclub to celebrate. They got to the door and the bouncer said, "Sorry." You're all wearing trainers. My grandfather, Jean, always complaining about how much things cost. £1.50 for a cup of tea, £2.25 for 3 custard creams. I said, "Look, Grandad, you just popped round. I didn't invite you." My other grandfather, he was always going on about how in the old days people could leave their back doors open, which is probably why his submarine sank. My other grandfather, when he died, we didn't even get the chance to say goodbye, which was all the more poignant because he drowned in a bowl of Cheerios. I used to own a Toyota years ago, and I remember once I was driving along eating a marshmallow, and all of a sudden my airbag deployed. And in that moment, I thought I'd become really, really small.
Carlsberg. Don't do liver transplants. But if they did...
Well, you can tell that Beckham thinks something is wrong, because if you look at the picture, he's going, "Aye." There's an A coming out of his mouth.
Aye. This game involves Milton, Andy and Diane, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. Without kicking the shit out of the set.
Oh, there you go.
Fuck off the face.
Well, that's a minute of the DVD sorted out.
Hey, that moment seemed a bit too hot for TV, yeah.
So, talk me through it again, Mrs. Hopkins. You were having Sunday dinner. You said to your husband, will you carve? And he just lay down on the floor and gave birth to a baby cow. A word about registers. Most of the staff are on one. Is it the gap between this word... No, it's not. Ruined it. Dear Deirdre, I am a control freak. What should I do? I'll tell you what I should do.
Yes, the answer I was looking for was Fox scandal rocks Conservatives. This is the news that Defence Secretary Liam Fox has been forced to explain his conduct following allegations that his working relationship with best friend and former flatmate Adam Werrity broke the ministerial code.
Wouldn't it be great if all of this had come to light because someone would be going through Fox's bins? All he's done is take a friend to work, and that's not actually a crime, is it, Mr. Truffles? What's that? Do you want to say hello to the boys and girls? No, I'm depressed.
Do you know why...
What Cameron should do is get a great big black hat and the sleep mask he got on the plane, and he stand up in front of the G20 and said, I will lead you out of economic austerity, for I am... Borrow. I found out my bank were fixing the loan rate. I went down there every single day and shouted at them, but then I consolidated all my anger into one monthly outburst.
Things you wouldn't hear on a political discussion show.
Sorry, did I interrupt you? Is it if you saw Pythagoras in concert, name one of the old numbers he might try and do?
Transport is the topic.
So I've got my own private jet. The rest of the jacuzzi belongs to my mum. If you've got a sat-nav, don't put the name of the company you're visiting into it. I tried to take some mayonnaise back the other day. I ended up in Helmand Province. I mean, I've got a car, but there's nothing I like better than making a bonfire on the passenger seat. Driving up and down, opening and shutting the electric sunroof and pretending to be a steam train. My uncle, he was a taxi driver, but then one day he left home without any indication. So recently, I was fell walking in the Lake District. Well, it's not quite true. Recently, I fell walking in the Lake District. I was going to tell someone, but the pillar box was full of sugar puffs. The worst job I ever had was forensic pathologist for the United Nations. And I remember uncovering the mass grave of 1,000 snowmen. Fortunately, it turned out to be a field full of carrots.
What's great about it? But it's like Milton, every so often, it's like this hilarious grandad that just wakes up.
The subject is junk food. Russell.
Hello. Am I allowed to take this out? Or do I have to...
Go for it.
Slick. There was an amazing thing the other day. Apparently 15% of 2 to 11-year-olds in England are now obese, and the government's going to ban telly adverts of junk food till 9 o'clock so the kids can't watch. And you find yourself screaming at the telly, if your 2-year-old's obese, that isn't telly's fault, that's your fault. How can you possibly ban the adverts? Ban your fanny until you can look after what plops out of it. That is There's ways and means. My dad invented something, right, to make us eat our dinner. My sister would never eat it. She was like, no, it looks disgusting, Dad. No way to eat it, right? My dad invented something called the dinner witch. So my sister was like, it looks disgusting. My dad would wink at me. I'd pop outside, ding dong, on the doorbell. My dad would then look into my sister's 8-year-old face and go, oh, Kerry, who could that be? During dinner time, with your plate still so full. And I suppose it could be the dinner witch. At which point, my sister would be like, slick.
Protest marches. Who's up first? Any come in and protest?
Yeah.
Russell.
OK. the only protest march I went on the Countryside Alliance March. I'm not pro or anti-fox hunting. I just quite like watching posh people get beaten up. I know it's wrong, but if you can find me a more glorious noise than then I'll happily listen. Come on, it's going to be fun, isn't it? And it's just so much fun baiting right-wing people. What do you think about fox hunting? I tell you what I think. If we didn't chase the fox, the entire bloody country would be overpopulated by foxes. Is that what you want, some hideous land of the foxes? Me, unable to leave my house in fear of a fox, wandering up to me, stabbing me in the gizzards? Is that what you desire? Looking across my lawn to see fox upon fox, prowling along my paddock, flicking the V's at me, walking hand in hand with asylum seekers? Is that what you want?
OK, the topic is air travel. Who wants to come in on that?
I'll do that.
Russell.
My favourite story about air travel, there was a bloke a little while ago who got put in prison for 3 days because he refused to stop kissing his boyfriend on a plane flight to South Africa. How magic's that? You can't help but picture him dressed entirely in latex, you know, surrounded by a sea of Burberry on an EasyJet flight. All right, lads, I'm going to make this tense for you. Ramon, let's do the bad thing. Do you want to stop doing that? I'm trying to read Nuts magazine. Whatever. Stop doing that. It's not natural. You're flying.
The subject is leisure. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I don't quite know how that signifies leisure. How has that old man got her? That's a joke. Anyways, we've got more disposable income now than ever, right? And this is quite an odd story, but my mum recently bought a hot tub. Now, I don't know if anyone else... It's quite exciting when your mum gets hot. She put it at the bottom of the garden, you get quite giddy, and then you're in it, and then you realise you're actually just outside having a bath with your mum. And it's a very... You've got no recollection of how to behave, right? And I've got a slightly lazy eye, so my mum's like, are you looking at my thighs? No! It gets freakier. My dad jumped in, my brother jumped in, my sister jumped in, and 2 of our family dogs leapt into the pool, right? So we're all on the edge, like really British, terrified, we're all naked. Dogs are just going around like that. Having the time of their life, right? And my mum just chose this moment to embarrass us, just looked up and went, hey, guess what? Well, she wasn't doing a dog impression, that would have been weird. Right? She went, guess what everyone in this hot tub's got in common? I don't know, Mum, what? That's a dog hitting me, right? My mum looked up and went, everybody in this hot tub has sucked my tits.
OK, the first subject is street protesters. Can I have a volunteer talk about that?
I'll do that, Dara. Nation. So, I love street protesters, they're fantastic. The best I saw, there's a lovely old lady who, since the war in Iraq started, she stands outside the Bristol Hippodrome with a big sign that says, toot if you're anti-war. And if you drive past her and go, ha, she does this. Now, I'm not sure, I've made her leap many times. I don't know if I'm anti-war or really pro-pensioner leaping. You know, when you kind of go, why am I doing this? Ha, stop it! Nah, do it! They're everywhere, they're brilliant. There's a bloke that I saw the other day, you know, one of those religious godbotherers, it's fantastic, just with a loud hailer, just pointing at people running, you're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. Everyone was freaked out, 2 goths delighted, that's a separate issue, but... He pointed at me and I was freaked out, and then he did something wonderful. He pointed at this really strutting black guy. I don't know why the fact that he's black made it cooler, but it really did, right? Pointed at it, went, you're going to hell. Without missing a beat, this bloke just went, no, mate, HMV. And he just sat there going,
Well done, Russell Howard. The next topic is the body beautiful. Who wants to come in on that?
We come in all shapes and sizes, don't we? Right. Good example, my mum has recently joined an under 5 foot club, you know. I'm not lying, you haven't seen a prettier sight until you've seen a load of tiny ladies sat around a table, their feet barely touching the floor. Sat there, because they're all under 5 foot, convinced they've got the same things in common. They haven't, right? The only thing they've got in common, when you hoover near them, they don't have to lift their legs. That's pretty much it, right? And there's a really amazing old lady there called Sue, who's about 80, and she's got a prosthetic hand. Now, we got chatting, right, and when she first went to school, the state of prosthetics was so poor, she actually went to school with a full-size man hand. As if your first day at school isn't terrifying enough. We're going to get bullied. There's your hand. You'll grow into... What do you mean I'll grow into it? I'm a little girl, I'm not Gordon Banks. What's that?
There's a Russell Howard. Men's health is the next top, as represented by the knee. The window on the man's soul, the knee.
Well, we've all been there, let's be honest. Jesus. And it's got quite a nice pant ferret there, which is a bit of hair. Never mind. Hey, we all call it our pan ferret, don't we, children? Men's health, basically, it's quite an embarrassing story. Because it's terrifying when you go to the doctors, and you're so scared. I turn into a 6-year-old boy. I'm totally unable to explain what's wrong with me. I'm like, doctors like that, what's wrong with you? Who did this to you? Dragons. And you're sat there, terrified. 3 times in my life, I've been convinced I've got testicular cancer. Every single time, it's been an ingrowing hair. It's, yeah, funny. It's getting to the stage. I need something terminal just to stop me looking like a massive pervert. You know, there's no way of getting comfy when you're having your balls checked, because the doctor's like, obviously my balls aren't that big. If you sat there and go, well, you do appear to have a problem, Mr. Howard. You appear to have camel's gonads. But you don't know where to put your hands, you know? You can't sort of do that or anything. I toyed with the idea of doing that firmly. I wish I'd been courageous enough just to go... But I didn't. I sat there like a timid T-Rex as my penis gently shrunk. And it's horrible, because the only good thing about going to the doctors is the ladies' magazines. You know, it's always the same. I found love in Falaraki. The most orange woman you've ever seen. Like Morph in a frock, clinging on to some terrified waiter. He gives me love 24/7. Cock your own fish fingers, Darren. He's a keeper. You're literally flicking through. When you get to the middle, that's when it gets properly ridiculous. There's always some woman staring at that. There's a ghost in my womb. I was walking downstairs. It flew out me vulva. It were Henry VIII. And that's the only good thing about going to the doctors. Thank you very much for your time.
The subject is national identity. Who wants to come forward? Russell.
Thank you. We're told to worry about national identity all the time. Like, Gordon Brown seems to be obsessed with British values. Have you noticed that? Kind of preaching British values. What are British values? Ultimately, we're all embarrassed and we laugh at stuff we shouldn't. That's pretty much it, isn't it? It's that forbidden giggle. You know when you're not allowed to laugh, but all you can think about doing is laughing. It's like when you see an old lady get hit by a frisbee. You know it's wrong. You know? The last time I saw that flag, it was a football game. England were playing Croatia, right? In Croatia, there was a bloke holding up the flag, right? Into which he'd sewn the words, "Go home, asylum seekers!" And you're like, how middle-class a hooligan are you? You're into bigotry and embroidery.
Good man, well done, Russell. First topic is transport. Russell's straight in.
Hello. I had a car crash the other day. It was horrific. I hit this lady. She was in a car. She wasn't dressed as a bollard. It was so bad because I hit her, and then I sort of walked out to say sorry. And how unlucky is this? She was staring at me with real fear. For some reason that morning, I decided to wear a Grand Theft Auto T-shirt. Now, there's no way you can make that worse unless you've got a beer in one hand and go, not again. I've really got to buy a steering wheel.
Subject is the media. Who wants to come into that? Russell.
I'll do that. I'd see, you know, The way I like getting the news is Radio 5 Live. It's fantastic. 'Cause it's just news and nutters, isn't it? They'll read out, like, that was the Pope's view on abortion, and then, hello, Felicity Puddleduck here, livid and ill-informed. I'd just like to say those harlots should give birth to their children aged 2 that charge you to national service. I'm off to bake a cake. And sat there listening, and then the next night, David, are you out of your mind? Cloning? Think it through. 2 versions of me. Want to go out and commit a crime? Who gets blamed for it? Me! I'm doing a 20 string. He's banging my wife. Where's the justice? And you sat there listening to these nutters, and then the most ridiculous story. A man in Bristol's found the face of Jesus on a crisp. And suddenly, I couldn't believe I opened up my frazzles. There he was!
Russell Howard. The subject is charity. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
It's, cheer if anyone's ever given clothes to Oxfam. Fair enough. You whooped then. Woo, do we win a prize? No. It's a really odd feeling because you feel quite proud of yourself. Just wondering, where am I going? I'm off to save Africa. That's right. And you wander in, you just plop down your clothes. Always some lovely lady buying it anywhere. And there's a tiny part of you that gets really annoyed. You almost want to go, right! Well, we'll do that again, shall we? And this time you're going to act like you give a shit. It sounds bad, but there's a tiny part of you that wants her to go, Sire, he brings goods. The chosen one has arrived. As you fling pants at orphans. Yippee, hurrah, will you ever be back in time, you needy tinkers? Banana dance.
Russell Howard. The first subject is homelessness. Who wants to come in on that? Russ.
I had a really great incident with the homeless bloke the other day. That sounds fairly dodgy. It was really, it's weirdly uplifting. So I gave him £1 and I was kind of walking away and he went, "Oi, mate, I've got a magic dog." Now that is a sentence that buys you half an hour with me, right? And he had sickle down him, this dog, right? And the homeless bloke had sick down him as well. And I was like, "What happened?" And he went, "Oh, we was asleep in the skip and some bloke chucked up on us." It's the most depressing thing you've ever heard. And he just looked at me and went, "No, it was amazing." Like, really? Why is that? And apparently what he did, still covered in sick, he stood up in that skip and just went, "Ah!" So this bloke was so drunk he thought his vomit had come alive. That man will never, ever drink again. Beer, Dave, it comes alive! It comes alive! Lovely moment.
The subject is the West Country.
I'll say this.
Who? Russell.
How can you not love the West Country? I've genuinely seen graffiti in Bristol during the last Tory campaign. Do you remember, are you thinking what we're thinking? Somebody had written underneath it, "Is it, do I like what's-its?" It's phenomenal. It's wonderful, isn't it? I used to live there. I've moved away from Bristol because I was near a dogging site, which is just a bit odd, right? And, all right, I wasn't into it. I was just near a dogging site, right? And I was talking to my friend. I was like, "Jane, why do they do dogging near the house, right?" And she looked and went, "Apparently, you got really great views of the Clifton Suspension Bridge." And you're like, "Well, you've got faith in humanity, haven't you? Just the idea that some... I tell you what, it's only when you're doing the nasty in a cortina that you can truly appreciate the work of Isambard King of Brunei. That, my friend, is craftsmanship. Shall we? Wonderful.
Thank you very much, Russell. The next topic is the media. Who wants to come in? Russell.
I'll do that. I think the papers are making this country a worse place to live. Don't you feel like that? Just the unremitting horror of the Daily Express. They must just get rid of news and just have every day, "Don't go outside! It's full of queers, blacks and crime! Oh, if only Diana was here!" And just sort of sat there going, "Come on." But they're all the same, you know? They're all the same. The Daily Mail every day, "Asbo's Muslim speed camera, Asbo's Muslim speed." The Sun, "Are you a pedo? Are you a pedo? Have a bang on her tit 16 today. Are you a pedo?" You know? The Independent, you try and read it, it's like it's grabbed you by the throat. "Are you recycling? Are you? You just killed a polar bear! You!" All the while, the Guardian's in the corner fanning itself with a wall chart. You silly little things. Tell 'em, Telegraph. Cricket! Cricket! Too much.
British society.
Thanks. There's a lot of idiots about, aren't there? I was in a sauna the other day with some men, which, you know, let's forget about that part of the story, but there was this bloke who was just sat there going, I tell you what, this country's gone to the dogs. 5 years' time, guarantee it, this country, Sharia law. Everywhere you look, Sharia law. And his mate went, yeah, but the thing is, right, under that law, you can have 4 wives. And this bloke suddenly went, really? And you're like... Make your mind up, mate. You Sid James or Enoch Powell. They're everywhere. Titties, ha-ha. He went mental. 4 wives. Imagine the fun I'd have. 1 for every day of the week. It's wonderful when you see bigotry slapped, isn't it? I was on a train the other day. There was a bloke sat here, let's call him a dick, who was sat opposite a man of foreign persuasion, just go, why don't you go home, mate? Why don't you go home? And this hero looked back at this bloke and went, I am. That's why I'm on the train.
Next topic is drugs. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
Good laugh, mate. I get offered drugs loads. I was at Glastonbury this year, right? And this bloke came up to me, he was like, oh, mate, do you want some shrooms? And you're quite tempted, because everyone's like, it was amazing, man. Had a chat with the tree. Good guy. He was called Nathan. You'd love him. We could play racquetball Thursday week. What a chap. But you know, if you took mushrooms, you'd be the one who would have the story that would end up on the front page of the papers. Do you know what I mean? I killed a lollipop lady. She wouldn't let me lick it and I killed her. So in the end, right, it's really embarrassing. I had 3 packs of Starburst just shoving in front of my tummy, like, nom, 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 nom. I was like, my guts totally gave way, and this lovely old lady came up to me and was like, are you all right? Now, you've never known being truly pathetic until you've looked into the eyes of a kind stranger and gone, I've eaten too many sweets.
And the topic is relationships. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
Britain, I have sexual advice for you. That's right. When I was 18, I used food in the bedroom. Now, don't ever do it. It didn't go well, right? I used Rolo yoghurt. And rather than tell... Yeah, exactly, right? Rather than tell my then-girlfriend what I had planned, I pretty much waited for her like some hideous yoghurt goblin, right? Now, I doubt there's anything more terrifying than coming home to find me naked, holding yoghurt, going, yeah, right? And I panicked, and rather than putting a little bit on, I pretty much basted her, right? By the time I'd finished, she looked a bit like Morph. You're sat there. I created an angry meal. You don't know where to start licking. You don't want to lick randomly, then she looks like she's got an illness. So, I did foot up to knee. That took me an hour. And hours, I was just... She looked like an angry gingerbread lady who'd had her leg dipped in Tipex, right? It didn't end there. I was like, I can't help you. The door opened, one of my dogs ran in and started licking the other leg. Never use food in the bedroom.
Thank you very much, Russell Howard. OK, the topic is human behaviour.
Some things you can't help doing. Do you find this? Like, if you get a cold can of Diet Coke, it's not enough for you to go, that is freezing. You have to find somebody you love and put it on their face. You can't... You don't do that with any other food. This soup's boiling in your eyes, but for some reason you become a fizzy torture. All right, Mum, Fanta to the knee! We're all fairly peculiar. Sometimes you think weird thoughts. I was in Tesco the other day. I was offered a bag for life, and I found myself going, I can't commit to that. You know? I don't know what bags are going to be like in the future. I feel like a tool if I got a plastic one in 2024. People go, I've got a new bag. It packs itself and speaks Spanish. Piece of shit. What can you do? I can suffocate a child. That's all you're good for. He can speak Spanish. I can hurt your hands on long journeys.
Topic is families.
Well, families are quite peculiar. Mine are wonderful. I went to Brighton the other day, and my uncle was like, watch out, it's full of gays, and they'll get you. They'll get me. They're gays, they're not ninjas. Not gonna... I'm so glad that I was raised by lunatics. I remember one of the weirdest stories I had happen to me when I was little. I was 8 years old. I was in Lanzarote. I just put some rubbish in a bin. I came around a corner and I was confronted by 2 werewolves, right? Turned out it wasn't werewolves, it was my mum and dad. Ah, ha, ha, isn't it hilarious? Not really, I've shat myself, right? But I've only recently found out they did not buy the wolf masks in Lanzarote. They bought them in England, which is beautiful and chilling at the same time. Look what I've got, David. Couple of wolf masks. You know, you don't like wolves, don't you? Captain Shitterbrick next door. Well, let's put him on now, scare him. Can I hold you just there, David? Can I wait until we're in a foreign country, get him really out of his comfort zone, and then properly shit him out? Families. Well done, Russell.
The next topic is education. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I remember school being fun. I think my favourite moment ever in life, pretty much. There was a girl in our school called Lydia. She was trying to make her calculator work. She was repeatedly knocking it against the desk. And after about an hour, our teacher went, Lydia! How would you like if I banged you against the desk? It's the greatest day of school. But now it's more sinister, isn't it? Like, they're now talking about teaching 5-year-olds sex education. Of course, people are very angry. It's disgusting! It's too much! Like, calm down. I'm not going to teach them technique. Right, this is how I like to do it, kids. That's right. Kids aren't going to run home, put dolls around a toy car and go, look, Mum, they're dogging, they're dogging. It's going to be some poor teacher trying to talk to 5-year-olds about love. Can you imagine a harder job? Hello, children. I'm here to teach you about love. Good luck with that, mate. I'm off to lick that tree.
Thank you very much, Russell. The subject, Russell, is etiquette.
It's like ladies with pointy breasts carrying books in a weird way. I'm really socially awkward. I met Jonathan Ross the other day, got really excited. I was having a wee backstage at a gig, and he went, you're thingamajig, aren't you? And for some reason I went, I can be whoever you want me to be. Now, in a toilet, that is just a come on, you know? And with women, it's even worse. I was on a train the other day, and this lady went, excuse me, can you look after my bags whilst I go to the toilet? Now, in that situation, all you've got to do is go, yes. But for some reason, I panicked and went, you're not allowed to go, and it's in the station. So she sits down, going, fair enough, didn't realise you were the poo goblin. Horrible moment. The train wouldn't move. Eventually it did. I swear she looked at me and went, can I go now?
Thank you very much, Russell. The next topic is men's health. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I went to the doctors recently with anal issues. I thought I had cancer, not I can't put my CDs in order. But it's a terrifying moment, right? So scary, because in your head, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And I went there and I took down my trousers. Obviously, we had a chat first, and it just... I'm not very well. You see that, mate? This is a chip shop. You've never done it slower in your life. I was just peeling them down. I got them down to about there. Just heard his booming voice go, in the other room. You have a decision to make there. Do you pull them up or do you waddle with pride, right? You waddle, that's what you do. When you waddle, you can't help but giggle. The last thing you need is to be giggling before a man's going to pop his finger in your Richard, because now you're a wiggling target, right? I'll be honest, when the finger goes in, you're not laughing anymore! You're like a red arrow! And that's the moment they chat. How you doing? Fine. When you draw the curtains, we've gathered quite a crowd. Look at that, it's Atrium Steps and he's getting violated. I'm Russell!
The next topic is the royal family.
Prince Harry's pretty spectacular, isn't he? He's wonderful. The Sun really can't make their mind up, because one minute the Sun, he's a war hero, next minute, racist. Make your mind up. We don't want him killing foreigners, but don't call them names. That appears to be the way they operate, you know? But there's something wonderful about Prince Harry. He must have a weekly show called These Are the Things I've Done. And we'd watch it, wouldn't we? Yeah, a couple of years ago, man, I shaved my pubes, put it on a swan, big wow. Next week, I'm going to light my farts and fondle a gibbon. Come on over! We love him because he's ferociously stupid. Think about it. He had 100 grand spent on his education, the finest education money could buy. He went to Eton, he got 2 A-levels. One's an E in geography, one's a B in art. Can you imagine that? Your dad has spent 100 grand on your education? I've done a drawing and I sort of know what a hill is. You know
Next subject is rage.
No wonder that man's cross. He's stuck in a shuttlecock. Everyone's angry, though. I know kids did really well in their A-levels. How do we respond? A-levels are getting easier. In my day, you have to do 50 questions in a minute. You got one wrong, they killed your dad. You know? All you hear is, this country's gone to the dogs. I'm fed up with this country. It's the worst country in the world. It's enough to drive you mad. Yeah, I bet there's some bloke in some war-torn African village as we speak just weeping. Why are you crying, mate? Is it because you've got no food, no money, no home? It is none of those things. Some people in England only have their willy bins collected once a fortnight. Is there no God?
The next topic is the consumer society. Russ.
Yeah. It's all a bit much, isn't it? I went into a shop the other day that said, why not try a guilt-free wrap? You're like, don't make sandwiches evil. Sandwiches are lovely. The bacon sandwich, one of the loveliest things in the world. What is a bacon sandwich? Essentially, it's bread giving a dead pig a cuddle. It's a lovely thing. I love you, Mr. Pig. Why do the Jews hate me? It's lovely. I was really down about it, and then I saw this wonderful thing that I think could only happen in the West Country. The bloke behind the counter in this shop yawned. The bloke in front of him, who did not know him, popped his finger in his mouth and went, ooh, yawn rape, and I nearly died. I had never seen a yawn rape, and now you've learned about it, you can't not do it. You'll be on a bus, you'll see an yawn rape, you can't help it. Did the bloke behind the counter headbutt him? No, he didn't. The bloke behind the counter giggled and went, it's a good job I didn't fart, wasn't it? And you're sat there going, well, the world is a better place.
Thank you very much, Russell. That's fitness.
Could have been camel toes. Now, I was in the gym the other day. I was in a locker room, and a 5-year-old boy ran in and jumped into a locker. Now, sometimes you know you're just going to have an incident, right? You could hear him in there giggling, like, and you knew what he was going to do. He was going to jump out and scare his mates, because his mates appeared seconds later, like, where's Stephen gone? Where's Stephen? He was there a minute ago. This is most irregular. Right? And he waited, not for his mates, but for 3 huge naked men. It was fantastic. They were kind of walking past, and this little kid leapt at those men like a cat with rabies. It was incredible, right? Just from nowhere, the noise they made, I've never heard a noise like it. They sounded like a tugboat getting molested. Like, His long-suffering dad is in the showers, obviously heard this and went, that'll be my bloody boy! Ran back, confronted this glowing hellbeast and went, Stephen, what have I told you about acting up in public? And this little kid cut his dad down with one very simple sentence. Dad, your willy's moving? You're just there going, oh, the world is a better place.
The subject is young people. Russell.
Funky young people. You know, it's depressing being hit. I saw this the other day, it nearly killed me. It's a kid who was about 8 years old in a cafe with his mum. He went, here, Mum, doesn't matter how many of these you eat. He was eating a fun-sized Mars bar. Doesn't matter how many of these you eat, it never leads to fun. How depressing is that? It's not a happy meal. Life is suffering, Russell. Life is suffering. It shouldn't be like that when you're 8. When you're 8, you should be excited about the world. Can you remember the first time you saw a rainbow? Can you remember the giddy delirium in your mind? You're like, Dad, there's colours in the sky. I like the sky. I like colours. The two are combined. My mind is literally blown. I need answers, big man. I need answers. Well, that sun is called a rainbow. Oh, my God, it has a name. It has a name. This day can get no better. There's a pot of gold at the end of it. And it's guarded by a tiny leprechaun. Pull over, Dad. Pull over right now. Has anyone ever chased a rainbow? I did. You never forget it. I bet you didn't do this. Me and my little brother took a knife just in case the leprechaun acted up, right?
Thank you very much, Russell. The next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Mark, which category would you like?
Science.
OK, your category is science. The answer is 2025. What is the question?
Is it, when will the stadium for the 2012 Olympics be ready?
What year will black people and white people finally live side by side in harmony in Chinese concentration camps?
Is it, what is my PIN number?
Yes, it is, it is.
Is it my dad took a dump in my toilet the other week? When will it be safe to go back in there?
How many times is the word umbrella repeated in that bloody song?
What year will cities gain sentience and raise themselves on hydraulic legs to begin the long battle for resources?
Frankie's vision of the future is terrifying.
Is there any vision of the future you have which involves us living in peace and harmony, having transcended war?
Oh, I've just noticed we're on a dying fucking planet, Darren.
Yeah, it's got to be the year, isn't it?
Is it something to do with cities on hydraulic legs?
It's nothing to do with cities on hydraulic legs.
You sure?
There will... No, with the cities on hydraulic legs.
Is it... In what year can I book a scuba diving tour of Holland?
That's assuming it hasn't risen up on its own legs and... Where's Holland? Frankie, you should know.
Holland's not a city.
In the year 2025, it'll be the only city left in mainland Europea. With a giant war against the ocean countries, etc. OK, I'll give you a clue. Nothing apocalyptic about it whatsoever.
I think I might know it.
I'm
dull enough to know that, because I read this. It's something to do with hydraulic... I think it's the date.
If it's not about hydraulic legs, it'll be very disappointing.
Is it not the year? Have the Russians have said something about launching a moon mission, haven't they?
They have,
And
yes.
they, I think, have said that is the date. A mere 66 years after the Americans managed it.
What exactly is it?
They're going to land a man on the moon.
Absolutely right, though. Well done, Hugh. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Gary, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is relationships.
The other day, a woman described me as a bit of a looker. Well, voyeur was the actual word that she used. I used to go out with a parachutist with IBS, but she shat on me from a great height. One time I nearly had a threesome with my girlfriend and my best friend, and the only thing that stopped it happening was they didn't invite me. My girlfriend said she wanted to try some new condoms with something special inside to boost her pleasure. I said, oh, what's that? She said, other men. Our fourth child was called Ivy, and that's because we ran out of names and started using Roman numerals. My last girlfriend was always trying to put me down, which is just one of the hazards of going out with a vet. I tried reading a book on premature ejaculation, but I couldn't get past the opening passage. This Christmas, I'm taking the whole family to Lapland, which is great, because normally those clubs don't let kids in. I always worry when a woman sees me naked for the first time that she's just going to scream and run out the park. My girlfriend and I love watching box sets. We got 3 episodes into Orange is the New Black before finding out it wasn't about what would happen if Trump replaced Obama.
Thank you very much. Well done. Point in that round and a go to lady. Hello and welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara O'Brien. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Joe Caulfield and Greg Davis, Chris Addison, Hugh Dennis and Gary Delaney. We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Gary, which category would you like?
Media, please, Dara.
OK, your category is media. The answer is 600 metres. What is the question?
Is it, if Kelvin Mackenzie was to do a bungee jump from a height of 500 metres, what length rope should he be given?
Is it, in fact, what head start would I need if I was competing against Usain Bolt in the 100 metres?
Is it simpler than that? Is it how big are some trees, Dara? No trees are simpler.
Is it how far is the Queen's bed from her ensuite bathroom?
How far away can Boris Johnson smell a custard cream?
Is it in fact, how far can the Proclaimers walk now?
Is it at what distance is Theresa May attractive?
None of the rest of us could do that. But good to have you on board.
Is it when kicking Chris Brown in the bollocks, exactly how long a run-up should you take?
Is it proportionally, if a clown's nose was the size of Dara's head, how long would his shoes be?
Is it how long was the longest runner bean ever grown at the Fukushima nuclear plant?
Is it, in fact, how long would your penis be if all the products in the spam emails worked?
Is it what is the delivery radius of a relatively unambitious pizza company?
Sorry, will you choose the correct answer, please?
Is it the distance that Prince Philip sprinted to get hold of a copy of the French magazine Clothing? Am I close?
You can be closer.
Is it, in fact, the distance that they were taking shots of Kate topless?
That is absolutely right. Thank you very, very much, Andy. Yes, the question I was looking for was, from what approximate distance did a photographer take pictures of the Duchess of Cambridge sunbathing topless? This is the news that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have taken legal action against French magazine Closer, which has printed topless photographs of Kate. It's called, I don't know, the French call it Closer for some reason. We have a French woman working the show, and I'm going, sure, it's Closet. She goes, no, Closer. A French court has blocked future publication of the pictures in France, but they've already been published in Italy and Ireland.
There's loads of royals who've been snapped naked, haven't they? Obviously Harry, you know, now Kate, then we had Andrew before that, Charles before that, Countess of Wessex. I mean, there have been, in fact, so many of them, I think they should persuade a few more of them to do it, and then they could release a charity calendar.
The thing is, isn't it? It is terrible, it's unjustifiable, it's immoral, but I quite want to see the pictures.
Are you saying you haven't seen them yet?
I haven't. I've seen fuzzy versions of them on the...
I think they're all fuzzy. Pictures were taken from the Hubble telescope.
From the Hubble telescope.
What I found intriguing was I think, I don't know if everyone was, I was certainly waiting for the next time she appeared in public to see if she would acknowledge what had happened to the cameras. And she didn't. She just did the same smile that she always does. Because if someone had photographed my meat and two veg, I probably would have come out and gone...
I think the whole thing is just making a mountain out of two molehills.
That's a good point.
I'd probably better, I think, the BBC prefer if we didn't descend into judging the woman's breasts. That would be the incorrect direction.
I think she's annoyed because, and every woman's had this on holiday, because I've looked at the photos, and they're at that awkward angle. When you're topless, you've got to stay at a certain position or it's not attractive, and she's in that reaching for the sun cream position. That's what she's annoyed about. You know, we've all got those photos, like my Uncle Terry, where he popped out of his shorts.
But do you think...
I didn't see that edition of Closer. Joe's Uncle Terry pops out of the shops and his shorts.
Do you think she's genuinely worried about it, though? Don't you think there's just one tiny... Well, do you think there's just one tiny bit of her that's thinking, yeah, where's my sister's arse now, then, eh?
What's going on here?
Oh. It's an elephant fucking a car.
Do you know that is very dangerous, because if the car goes around the corner, that elephant is going to come off.
I feel sorry for him. It's embarrassing. He's been caught having sex with a car. I mean, he's never going to forget it. You know that?
To be fair, the car was totally asking for it with the windows down and everything.
Is this the world's most difficult to claim insurance?
per reason of damage.
Yeah, thank heavens there's a photograph, because really, in 80 words or less...
Does this count as a major or a minor on your driving test? Well, your 3-point term was exceptional, but an elephant did shag the car.
It's the answer to the question, what you going to do with all that junk inside your trunk?
It's really weird, is that if elephants never forget, clearly somewhere in his past he's had sex with an elephant that looked a bit like a Lexus.
Well, might have been an escort.
What a driver, though. You think the driver was just pulling on the screen wash, going, it's not shifting it.
You think he's opening the roof of the car and trying to suck its tits or something?
I'm impressed that you think the way to do this, if we can just get the elephant off quicker.
Come on.
You grab that, I'll tweak his nipples.
Possibly it's just one of the challenges on Taskmaster.
Yeah, you could say they're having a whale of a time. What are we doing?
Things you don't want to hear from your flatmate.
That's my milk in the fridge. I squeeze it out of my tits with a vice.
No, we can't share the electricity bill. I've got a phone charger and a laptop, and you're on a life support machine.
My last flat was just like Friends. Have you seen the one where Joey kills everybody?
I love talking to you. With you, I can...
Be my real self.
There's just 2 of us. Well, 3 if you count God.
I'd give it 10 minutes in the toilet if I were you. That one could talk.
Well, if you don't think I'm a nosy bastard, why did you write that in your diary?
Oh, that's just a novelty shower gel in the shape of a webcam.
Hey, you said there wasn't enough room to swing a cat. Look at this.
I don't see why I should pay for half the loo roll when I never use any.
I tell you what, that Hoover is powerful.
Why did one of Corbyn's shadow cabinet appointments upset farmers?
Oh, it's his farming minister is a vegan. She's the only politician less welcome on a farm than David Cameron.
The good thing about having a vegan agriculture minister is they will not talk bullshit. They talk organic mulch.
She wants to treat meat eaters the same as smokers, doesn't she? And you're thinking, well, you know, certainly if you go into Pizza Hut and order the meat feast, you'll think twice about that, wouldn't you, if you have to eat it outside?
I don't know. If people gathered outside offices to just eat meat, I think that would become enormously popular.
Just do the pepperami like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Bloody hell, it didn't used to be like this, did it?
Sitting under one of those heat lamps, it's slowly cooking.
You can imagine meat eaters going away to European holidays just to come back to be like, it was amazing, you can still eat meat inside over there.
But then the NHS could help with, like, wean you off with, like, a meat patch. Or you could just chew an OXO cube if you were getting, like, packs.
Could you put an OXO tube into an e-cigarette and, like, and vape it? Would that... Would that perform the same thing? Oh, beefy. Oh, I really need
Sorry,
that.
it just sounded like you're having sex with Ian Botham then.
Tell him again about those long walks, beefy.
I think she's got a point, though. I think meat is quite similar to smoking. I think, you know, a lot of people after sex, they like to have a cigarette. And I like to, after sex, just have a quick spit roast.
OK, who also had a party conference this week?
I believe it was UKIP.
It was, of course, UKIP. Yes, they did, actually, yeah. Nigel Farage, big fan of the show. How are you, Nigel? Good to the...
The thing about it was that they didn't have enough people, did they, at UKIP? They had to slash the ticket prices because nobody was turning up. I mean, they keep on telling us the country is full, but they can't even fill their own conference hall, can they?
It was at Doncaster Racecourse, which is weird, given the trouble they've had with the first-past-the-post system. Why was
Why are these people paying to go and watch the UKIP conference? Do you know what I mean? If you want to watch, like, boring old men in shit clothes talk about hating foreigners, Top Gear's on Amazon soon.
OK, Frankie and Andy, you're going to go head-to-head on this topic. Let's spin the wheel again. OK, it's the war on terror. Who wants to go first? Andy?
Yes, the war on terror. The Americans have said, you know, they're worried that Iraq is their new Vietnam. Let's hope not. Otherwise, we're in for some shit movies in about 10 years' time.
Good man, Andy. Well done. Andy Parsons there. On the same topic, Frankie, it's your turn.
Apparently, in America, they're building a big tower on the site of September 11th, Freedom Tower, and they're looking at ways of trying to make it terrorist-proof. I think they should have just built a giant mosque. No one's going to fly into that, are they? Or even better, a runway. How galling would it be if you hijacked a plane and then had to come in and make a textbook landing? They're always going, oh, don't deal with terrorists. We mustn't deal with terrorists. Let's deal with them. What's Al offering you boys? 100 virgins? We'll give you 50 slags. Or 2 women from Dundee.
Holly, which category would you like?
Please, may I have home news?
OK, home news it is. The answer is poultry, axes and pills. What is the question?
Is this the ingredients for the hardest ever episode of Ready, Steady, Cook?
Is it what gave my sister the hen night she wasn't expecting?
Is it what 3 things are inadvisable to smuggle up your arse?
What are the only 3 ways I can still get the horn?
Is it what is the actual title of an aisle in Aldi?
Is it what accessories come with the Charlie Sheen action figure?
What 3 things do you need if you're going to cook cock o' Valium?
Is it a night out of Bill Cosby?
Is it what respectively makes you a threat to vegans, trees and headaches?
Is it what ingredients does Heston Blumenthal need to make a lemon meringue pie?
What are the only 3 things the BBC haven't managed to build a bake-off style show around?
What 3 things do you need if you're going to make an abattoir where the chickens have a choice?
Oh, that is... Wow, that is dark. So I put it to you again, Mac Cluckerson. Shall I do it or shall you do it? Then you know the correct answer.
Is it, what are you allowed to have a plastic... OK, what are you allowed to get a free plastic bag with if you're buying? I didn't say this right.
Say it one more time.
OK, because it's really technical, because it's like, it's... What are you allowed... What? No, I can't do it.
You have all the bit. You
What
just
does it... What are the exceptions? OK, I've got it.
For which items? For which items?
What are the exceptions to the free plastic bag? No.
Yeah,
I've got it!
OK. What 3 products would exempt you from the 5p charge on a plastic bag?
That's absolutely right. Yes.